Hi, I'm Colleen Ottens, and I'm here today to talk again about standards-based grading, specifically to address the email that Mr. Sanders sent to staff last week after last week's board meeting. In the letter, Mr. Sanders, one of the things that you repeated over and over again was that the way to make this work is through communication with parents and students. Yet I have not heard from you through an email or call to me personally, nor through a district-wide email about this. How can you promote communication when you are not practicing it yourself? Additionally, you state that this is not an experiment because you Googled the word standard-based grading and got 6.5 million hits. I'm not sure what that's supposed to prove. All it says is that it's been talked about, but it doesn't mean it's good. I also did a Google search to find out what's going on across the nation regarding SVG, and I found many articles, both pro and con. Every article, whether for or against SVG, stated that the teachers need a minimum of 2 to 4 years to devise and implement the standards before attempting to implement SVG, and then need years of training on how to properly use SVG. In his article, How to Make SVG Just Another Fad, science educator Chris Ludwig says that 4 ways that SVG should not be done. Number 1, don't gather teacher input on the process of implementing SVG. Number 2, require teachers to use state or national standards. Number 3, don't train your teachers before you roll out SVG. And I quote, if you want teachers to do all of these things on the fly during their first year of implementation of SVG, be my guest. But don't expect really stellar results, and you should expect to lose support of much of your overworked staff. And number 4, use SVG to provide even less information to your parents than your traditional grading system did. And again, I quote, telling parents that their kid is partially proficient in numeracy doesn't mean squat. From reading this article and many others, I realized that U46 has made a blueprint for exactly how not to implement SVG. You are having teachers write standards and learn grading standards at the same time, or grading scales, I should say, and you are not giving proper training. Inviting teachers to workshops in November and March really does no good now, and students are the ones paying the price for all of this. Even articles for SVG discuss the difficulty of creating grading that is fair and equitable, and about what that elusive "for" means. In a TED video on YouTube where a teacher passionately makes the case for SVG, I see how the grades have been affected. In his traditional method of grading, he had several grades from A's to F's. When he changed to SVG, his grades all tended toward the mean. While he got rid of his F's, he also got rid of all A's and most B's, with most students receiving C's. What I realized about SVG is that it requires students to be spectacularly gifted or average with no room in between. In his article, Is Standards-Based Grading a Good Idea? Noted education writer Alexander Russo says, quote, participate in class and turn in your homework are actions that students generally know how to do, so it makes sense to reward them for performing them. Master this content standard is much more abstract and long-term goal that students may neither know how to achieve nor have the willpower to pursue over time. What I would like the district to do right now is take a deep breath and ask itself if what you are doing is benefiting our students.